It's so simple. It goes back to biology, quantum physics, our mitochondria. Our cells take information from only 3 places: oxygen, food, and sunlight. Oxygen. We know that we get oxygen in our environment from plants through photosynthesis. They have a quantum relationship with the sunlight and they give us oxygen to breathe. If you notice you're just feeling a little off, pull up one of Wimhoff's breathing. His sequence is very unique to supporting our mitochondria. So oxygen, and then we have food. Our body pulls electrons from food, and those electrons are basically broken up into 2 categories. Protein and carbs are in one side, and fat is in another side. When you are burning protein and carbs for fuel, your ATP production is 36 molecules. If you have a fire and you have 1 log on the fire, it's sort of a slow burning fire. If you are burning fat, you've got more logs on the fire, you're gonna be creating 120 plus molecules of ATP or energy.
Fat as a fuel source gives us long-lasting energy and feeling satisfied for hours. Toxins are stored in fat, so using fat as fuel helps us to detox heavy metals and chemicals.
This is, I think, probably the hardest one to get across because we have been brainwashed and programmed that sunlight causes cancer. It's really in our relationship with the sun.
The real issue is eating toxic food and then slathering on toxic sunscreen and spending hours in the sunlight. Sunlight offers our cells all the spectrums of light that they need. At sunrise and at sunset, we receive all spectrums of light.
We follow the rhythm of nature. We are actually giving our cells instructions. The sun is instructions for our energy and our sleep. Our skin directs our immune system from the sun via our eyes and our skin. In other words, sunrise and sunset, no sunscreen, no sunglasses, no contact, is going to give your cells instructions on how high the hormones should be, when they should start detoxing, when they should start slowing down, when cortisol should rise, when melatonin should be put away. When we don't have those signals from the sun and we live inside a house, sometimes that gets reversed and we're exhausted and we have to sleep during the day and we have a lot of energy and we get really amped up and hyped up in the evening. We have to take all 3 of these into consideration. If we want to detox heavy metals throughout our lifetime, we need to incorporate oxygen, a fat burning state, and sunlight.
I actually started watching the sunrise and the sunset, and it changed the way that I viewed the world, and it changed the way that I viewed health. And I saw this is the way that we are going to handle heavy metals and chemicals. And it doesn't matter what they throw at us. If we have a relationship with the sun, and if we know how to get rid of heavy metals and chemicals, we will survive. Let's talk about ketosis. Now, I know the diet industry has fooled us into thinking that there are keto foods, when in reality, ketosis is a state that your body can be in where it uses its own fat or fat from your diet for fuel rather than protein and carbs. Probably the most confusing thing about ketosis is it's really not recommended for weight loss. It's a normal metabolic state that really lets us know that you're detoxing. Now, ketosis is different than ketoacidosis, which is a life-threatening medical condition. You can see on this chart, there is nutritional ketosis as well as an optimal ketone zone, which is what our goal would be for a fat-burning state. And it's very different than being in starvation or being in ketoacidosis. Nutritional ketosis is a fat-burning state. That's a tool that you can pick up or put down throughout the year. There is no need to stay in ketosis for the long term. You may decide to get into ketosis and do fasting in the spring, which is oftentimes when hunter-gatherers were in ketosis. Or you can go into ketosis even when the seasons change and do a fast. You can easily determine if you're in ketosis by either using urine strips or blood monitors from Amazon.
Autophagy happens if we are in a deep sleep between 2 and 4 a.m. It goes on a process of cellular cleaning and it gets rid of the heavy metals and chemicals. Now, what has happened throughout our lifetime? Most of us have gotten into the habit of having evening snacks, eating late at night, staying up late, and then the body doesn't get into that cleansing phase. Your body's going to start storing heavy metals and chemicals because it's not getting rid of them. In the ancient times, when people were more connected with the sun, they got into ketosis when their food supply was limited. They were very active. They were hunting. You can go into a state of ketosis and you can exercise. You're going to be burning heavy metals more efficiently and chemicals. If you're in a fat burning stage, right, the fire is greater. You're in a state of ketosis, exercise, and sunlight, your cells know, they're getting the signals of when to eat, when to detox, when to produce hormones. And you have now protected yourself from heavy metals and chemicals.
We need to be aware that they are going to try to scare us that seafood has heavy metals or chocolate or salt. And the reality is, if it's from the earth, it is going to have some heavy metals, which is natural.
If you're just getting started, maybe you can't get into the ketosis, it's just too complicated for you. With fasting, Jordan Rubin talked about fast 1 dinner meal a week. So fasting 1 dinner meal a week, you need to have a good breakfast, you need to have a good lunch, and then you fast dinner. That is one of the easiest tools to help you get into autophagy, that time during the night where your body does the most cleaning.
Keto and fasting is not starvation. For that reason, we bring on a multi. These nutrients within the multi will help us to take care of our hair, skin, and nails without ingesting heavy metals. Let's keep in mind, vegetables have heavy metals, and hunter-gatherer societies had time periods before the fruits and vegetables came into season that they were fasting. The mitochondria within our cells are like little battery packs that need fuel in order to help us with our energy, with detox, and with sleep. We communicate with our mitochondria with oxygen, food, and sunlight. We have the opportunity to live on the earth the way that God intended for us to, in harmony with nature, with the ability to program our cells to detox any heavy metal or chemical. These are the survival tools that I want to give to you so that you don't have to have any fear or worry about any heavy metal or chemical that they throw at us.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.